Unleash the power of purpose with impactful business voices, hosted by Nancy Baki and Anita Larsen. Each week, you'll be inspired by stories from companies that are making a real difference in the world, and you'll learn practical tips on how to grow your business with an impact.
Hey, everybody. Thanks again. We are back 2024. Welcome to Impactful Business Voices podcast, where every week we talk to a different business owner that is making an impact on the world, in their communities, or in the lives of their clients. And of course, maybe all three as well. So we're here, guys, to find out what drives them. And we hope that it inspires you as well to make an impact in your own business and to who you speak to every day. We're your hosts. I'm Nancy Baki.
And I'm Anita Larsen. And yes, like Nancy said, welcome back. We are excited to start off the new year, and I hope all of you are as well. And we are also very excited to speak with our guest today. We have Kate Doster, and she is redefining the way we think about selling. That's what we want to talk about today. She just brings a really fresh and authentic approach to selling, about helping rather than pushing, which I know that both Nancy and I feel very strongly about that as well. So we're going to learn about some of her unique sales strategies, and we're also going to talk about a really exciting event happening next month, which is her Back to Business bundle. So stay with us, and we're going to have a conversation that's going to change the way you see sales in the most genuine way possible. So let's get started, and welcome Kate to the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Very nice to see you, Kate.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here.
Awesome. Listen, Kate, we want to dive in. I'm really excited. I know Anita is. This is one of my favorite topics. It's how to sell the right way. That's how I call it, because a lot of people kind of forget on how to sell. It's not about being transactional, and it's not about them. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I am so excited to talk about. Let's dive right in. Look, we know you've been doing this for a while, and we want to know more about you, what got you started, and what prompted you really to start your own business. And, just if you can talk about how did your experience of getting fired for giving birth shape your approach to business. What an amazing story I heard from Anita. Would love to hear more.
It was rough. So hey everyone, like I said, I'm Kate Doster. Thank you guys for the lovely intro. So I started my sort of online business journey. We'll go back. It was 2012 is when I got fired from my job. I was in banking for giving birth. I had been there. I'm from the United States, and I had been there for less than a year. And because it was 11 months, and because it wasn't 12 months, I was not legally protected at all. And they're like, you've got 3 days to come back or you're fired. I ended up being in labor for 2 days straight. It was my first child. I had emergency C-section in the middle of the night. It was awful. Had an extremely bad reaction to the anesthesia. I could barely walk 3 days out. And so here we are. I'm with my husband. We weren't necessarily married at the time. And we had this brand new baby. We were down to one income. He was in social services. So y'all, that means you're getting paid literally $0 to take care of the most disadvantaged youth in our case that you can take care of. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? And then we got married, and then I unexpectedly got pregnant with our second one. So I'm like, okay, now we've got 2 babies, right? And it's like, do I go back and get a job? Because my husband's job, the one thing it did have was great healthcare, which you're a little jealous of you from Canada. So my husband had great insurance, right? So we didn't want me to go back and for us to lose the greatest health insurance. So it was like, I did the math, and it was honestly more expensive for me to go back to work part or full time and put the kids in daycare than to just stay home and to be on social services. And I was just like, this is what happens to people. They literally, it's not that they don't want to work or they don't want to put in any effort. It's that it's financially not responsible to do this. So I made it my job. I signed us up for everything that we could. I got our house weatherized. I got heating assistance. I was just like, I'm going to do everything that I can to get us the best life that we could. And then that's when I ended up turning to online business. Like most people, I start off as blogging, but I'm not a writer at all. I'm more of a talker than a typer. I found out that copywriting was a thing just from being in Facebook groups, because that was like the big thing back then. I was like, copywriting with a W, what's that? And then the second I found out what it was, which is actually just typing words that inspire people to take action, I'm like, that I can do. And I was really good at it. And you could charge a lot more for it. So I was off to the races. And that's how I sort of started out my online business thing. It was just kind of like, especially like back when I was a copywriter in services, it was a lot of just like getting your name out there, like giving people suggestions, doing things for free. I sell online courses now. I loved online courses back then. The one I bought from Copy Hackers, I'm like, that's one of the ones that propelled my business. One of my top 2 purchases ever. And we were just off to the races, and I absolutely loved it. And what I found from doing the copywriting and just from sharing what I had learned and like what I had implemented for my clients, I realized that people were really intimidated by writing and sales and email at the time. And so I'm like, I'm going to make the 3 most unapproachable, intimidating things as easy and fun and stress-free as I can for people. And that's how I ended up getting into sales and sales mindset and messaging and all that greatness.
Yeah, I think I love your story. It's getting fired because you had a baby, like seriously.
Yeah. Like, I hate those rags to riches stories, but I'm like, we really are. I was like, we went from welfare to a 7-figure business, but I'm like, it took me a couple years. So I wasn't like one of those like 6-monthers. So I'm like, well, I guess it's not that rags to riches, but
no, but that's important what you said. I mean, nobody said that opening a business was easy, but you stuck by it. You did what you had to do. You hung out with those that are going to help you succeed. And listen, that's the approach. And it's the same thing in sales and selling every day, right? People just don't get it.
And, you know, and sometimes it takes those events to kind of propel you to take the step to get to where you're supposed to be, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think any woman that's had a baby can relate to your story that's listening right now, definitely.
I love my kids, but being a stay-at-home mom just melted my brain. I could not do I literally had to build an entire company. And my husband's we call it the primary parent. My husband's the primary parent now. He's the one that takes care of the house and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's great.
I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
To be honest, Kate, the day that I had my daughter was the day I decided I will never work for anyone again. Yeah. So I get you. It was the most amazing but it's hard work, right? And you have to stick by it and not just do like that 3-6 months or whatever it is, right? So yeah,
I tried. I thought that I could work from home because I worked remotely at the time when I had my daughter. And I thought I could work from home and I didn't have to put her in daycare. I could just be a mom and a businesswoman at the same time. But anybody who's ever had a toddler realized that just does not function. You can't be the stay-at-home mom and have a toddler run around and try to run a business at the same time. So daycare was, until we got to a level where she was more manageable. But I want to get back to go ahead.
I support that. I think mine were when we ended up like officially starting the business. I think we were closer because my kids are only 17 months apart. I think we were closer to like that, like 4 and 5, that like I could have Dora the Explorer and like that Puffy cereal be my babysitter for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Dora.
But a 2-3-year-old, it's not manageable. So optimistic, but no. I want to talk about what else you said there, because we were talking about just before we kind of opened the show. Both Nancy and I were like, we love your messaging, your email, your tone of voice, your writing. It's just so fun and attention grabbing, which is, and I come from a long background in marketing. And so to me, that's like, that captures my eye immediately. So it's, I just wanted to pass that on. Your messaging is amazing. And I want to talk more about what you said, the sales approach, and how a lot of people are afraid to do sales, to do emails, and they're not sure how to approach it, and you're trying to make it stress-free. So that's one of the things we want to talk about today. So what do you see as some of the common mistakes or some of the problems that like entrepreneurs have in their sales approach?
I think that we forget that people like to buy things, but they don't like being sold to.
Yes.
Like If I'm not that I'm going to call anyone out on this call, but if I actually like, when's the last time you bought something on Amazon? Yesterday was my answer. I had to buy stuff for my kid's concert today, right? So like people really do love to buy things, and it really does give them the dopamine hit. But I think that a lot of us, especially because I know the people that I help tend to be women, and they also tend to be moms, even though I'm not like mom for more or like that sort of a thing. Because some of us come from that background of like we want to be so selfless, and like we are always like, oh, like in my case, right? Like we are on food stamps. Like I know that it's not necessarily like I don't necessarily believe in myself. It's like, no, I've got like $100. Like I literally cannot blow this. Like, so I think that a lot of us will bring in to sales our own pre-existing sort of money and like sales belief, right? Like I don't know about like you guys, but like I wouldn't even tell my mom when the school was having like the charity like wrapping paper event is like really big, and you know like how you can get those fundraiser prizes. Like I didn't even tell my mom when we were doing fundraisers because I felt so guilty that I was like stealing people's money, and money is hard to get, and like salespeople's are bad. And I think that what ends up happening is that a lot of us have those sort of like mixed emotions, and we get really unclear. We're like all of a sudden now we're the bad guy because we have the audacity to tell somebody that we've got a $7 ebook, right? And like, no, you're not an awful person for having a $7 ebook, because the truth is that people can get stuff for free all of the time. They're listening to this podcast, right? But when somebody actually pays money, they are going to do stuff. So you need to actually see it as that they are giving you money to bet on themselves, right? Because it's like, yes, at some point you do need to do free. And like I had mentioned before we had come on, like with the copy hackers course, that was a big course. And like I had to talk to my husband and had to go on a credit card, but I did everything they said in that course and it worked out absolutely fantastic. I'm not saying I didn't do the stuff that they said for free, but like I put some skin into the game. So now I need to get my money's worth. It's the same reason why like your Target bag might have like, you know, apple juice on it, and like it's kicked under the rugs, the dog chewed it. But like if you've got like a nice like Coach bag or Louis Vuitton bag, like that's in its dust bag, it's on top of the closet, it's only coming out for weddings, right? So you have to think of your people like that. So really that sort of first step in sales, I don't want to say it's to get over yourself, but it's to get over yourself and to stop thinking that you are a bad person for taking their money, you're stealing their money, all of that. All you are doing is giving them an opportunity to bet on themselves, because when people pay, they pay attention. So that's like the first half. And the second half is that I always approach sales with how much better or easier or more fun or just how much more successful my people's lives are going to be because of my product. Like I'm never like, oh, the email marketing fair is the best thing ever. Like I'm super excited because all I can think about is like, now this person's not going to stress out about their emails. They're going to go ahead. They're going to send out their ebook about plants. Now somebody's not going to kill their plants. They're going to be so excited when they walk in their office. Like I like to think of the broader impact that my stuff is going to have. Like that's what I get more excited about. You physically see me like, I just like sit up in my chair. Like, yeah, my stuff is pretty cool, but like, I love the cool stuff that my people can do. And I think that sometimes we actually ironically undersell ourselves. So like, well, like, because I do have some people that sell like printables, right? It's like, well, like I'm just selling like kids' activities. No, like, have you ever been a mom that just needs 5 seconds a piece to go to the bathroom? Like that printable's a lifesaver. So like, you need to be like, I'm so excited that I get to help them with that. And then they're going to do this and this. And now it's like, that's the way that I like to think of sales. So that way you don't have to think of it like, oh, I'm the, you know, the sham wow guy or the guy in the infomercials, like, and this, and like, you know, these car salesmen that's like lying and pressuring. Like, I'm never going to lie about my stuff. I talk about my shortcomings, talk about the shortcomings in your stuff. We had a course called Love Your List. It was ginormous. So like, guys, it's ginormous. If you're one of those, I need to watch every video and do every checklist, I wouldn't buy this course because I don't think you're ever going to get through it all. It's more of a, I'm doing this. Let me go watch this type of scenario, right? So you need to be able just to be honest and to be, again, excited for what people can do with your stuff, your services, your products, rather than how cool your stuff is.
Yeah. And I think that's the most important, is that they are selling something that makes sense, that solves a problem, right? And it's a solution to their problem. Because the danger does come, and especially I saw it so much since the pandemic, because everybody just opens a company just because they think they should or can. And it takes a lot of hard work to make sure that it's also your ideas and what you're bringing that's proper on the table. Also, you said, you know, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Yeah, totally. Like,
it's funny because we say the same thing.
We do.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. But, you know, the economy grows because we sell. And if we sell the right way, I call it not like the outside world, not transactional, more as, again, solving that problem to the solution and giving that value and that relationship building. That's when people love to buy, and they don't question the price. They don't question the value. They know they're going to get that value. So I love what you said. And it's really important that more businesses and entrepreneurs just learn that new approach so that they're doing business the right way.
Yeah, because all you need to do is really show them. Like I said, I never want to take away anyone's agency. Like one of my last emails in all of my launches, like for regardless of what it is, I mean, maybe not for like a flash sale for something tiny, but like if it's for something bigger, it's always just like flip a coin, dude. Like it's like, what? She's telling me to like leave it up to chance. Yeah, right? Because that's going to tell you in your gut. If it ends up being heads and you're excited because like, yes, I get to go win this thing, then go and buy it. If you get tails and you're like, oh man, then guess what? You should buy it anyways because that coin just told you what you're really feeling. Like I just want to give people all of the information so they can make the best decision for them and their business. And like this is one of my pet peeves, ladies. I don't know if you're like this as well. Please tell me. When I'm reading a sales page and it's like who this course isn't for, and it's like people that don't want to work hard, and it's like the most like throwaway garbage ever. It's like no. The reason why sales don't feel bad for myself, right, and for us on this call is we're making sure that we're selling to the right audience. Again, about a topic that they want to hear about. So, like, it makes sense for them. So don't just be like, oh, yeah, if you don't want to work hard or you don't like results or anything. No, like, be honest. Like, for one of my courses, like, if you don't know who you want to help and what you want to talk about, this isn't for you. Like, this isn't for beginners. You need to know those things. I'm going to tell you how you can build a product to sell to them and how you can get better messaging and get in their head. Because really that's all sales is proving that you get about your person, that you care about your person, and that they can trust you. Like that's pretty much it, right? Do people love to procrastinate? Sure. So you're going to throw on some bells and whistles sometimes for scarcity and urgency. Yes. But like, I like to tack those on like sprinkles. That's not like the cupcake that I'm selling. I'm not just like, you're going to miss out, dummy. Like, if you don't get this, you're going to die a penniless loser. No. It's like, and guess what? We're going to start next week. So that way you don't have to worry about someday because you got no choice. We're starting Monday. So it's like, oh yeah. Or again, even with a discount, right? Sometimes like Black Friday, you want to leave with a discount because everyone is trying to sell. But for the most part, it's like you're in this. We're going to help you accomplish that. And guess what? You get to save 30% off too till Friday. What? And I'm getting a discount and I get all that cool stuff. Like I always try to make sure I can lead with how it's going to be better for them, what they get. And then it's like, oh, this. And I think where people get backwards for sales is they're leading with that 30% off, right? They're leading with the free shipping. They're leading with the carts closing. You know, like the very last one, we're like, yeah, you have to stay in integrity. So like, yes, they only do have 3 hours to sign up. Of course, you're going to say that because if people aren't reading everything, they need to know. Like I put timers in my emails. Some people are like, oh, that's pushy. I literally call it out. Time zones are a thing, dude. Like, I don't want you being like, I thought I had until 11 p.m. my time. No, it's right there. You can tell numbers. You got 2 hours. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but it's 2. So that way everybody knows we're all on the same page. So again, it's just about like reframing those things. Can you use them equally? Yes. Like timers are really gross when they go to nowhere. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. And I'm sure that Nancy, Anita, and I could talk about all of our sales pet peeves. That's like the worst one.
So like, a quick question.
Like, have you ever been on a sales page just to see what happens when the timer runs out? Because I've done that, especially for very early marketers, and nothing happens. I'm like, I'll wait for 5 minutes. I'll go open some tabs and come back.
Be genuine, still get the sale.
Yeah. Just be genuine.
Yeah. It's that's the transactional part of the transaction I was talking about earlier. I can't stand seeing it. So when we coach, we definitely ensure that it's not that way. And we have to take people through that buyer's journey. And if we don't, well, we're just talking to that 1 or 2 or 3% that are like, oh, 30% before midnight, let's grab it. And then the book is sitting there for like 3 years or the course or whatever the heck they bought, right? You gave a lot of nice nuggets and advice for the entrepreneurs who are really hesitant for selling their products and services. Any other little, 1 or 2 pointers that you can elaborate on? Because there's a lot of people, I mean, we meet them every day, right? In networking, on calls that we get every day, and they're just trying to sell, or, hey, I'm Nancy the lawyer, and if you got legal needs, just call me, right? It's just like simple stuff. what are your top 2 advices that you would offer to entrepreneurs?
Let's see. And I think that we had already touched on it, but I want to go. And I do think that selling to the right people matter. Again, in that Anita case, like, not that Anita does lawyering stuff, but like, it's good to know that people know that that's what she's doing for. But I think that if you are nervous about selling, regardless at a price point, sometimes it's because you are second guessing your ability to get people results. And so you need to, again, this is going to be, sales is a lot of mindset, guys. As much as people don't want to hear it, like, it's the truth. You need to realize that you do not need to be everyone's messiah, and you cannot take away their agency. Yes, it is your job to not lie and be like, everyone is going to get 10,000 email subscribers. Everyone is going to be able to make 10 sales in their DMs. Like, no, you need to be honest with people. It's like, look, if you show up and you have these things, here's what's eventually going to happen, but you're going to have to stick with it. You are ultimately responsible. So I think that's one of those really sort of important things. And like, you don't have to think that you need to like completely revolutionize somebody's eating habits by selling them a $12 ebook that is your meal plan, right? Like, you don't have to be that grandiose. So I think that that's sort of taking it there. And again, that's where that messaging and really focusing on attracting the right audience. And I talk a lot about email because it's just proven they're the most likely to buy, right? I make sure that my lead magnet or my freebie, I hate saying the word qualifying, but I make sure that it's like the right type of person. Like, to the point where the messaging on my landing pages, I make sure it's silly and goofy. And like, we've got things like spammer face on there, because guess what? My ultimate thing that I have to help people is courses. I'm going to talk just like this in my courses. This is going to be my teaching style. So if you need somebody who's more buttoned up and doesn't make cheese puns, I'm not your girl. I need you to go find somebody else, because I just need people to make money. I need good people to make money. I don't care who you learn it from. Just go do it. Like, and I think when you come at it with that energy, people can feel it. And so it's a lot easier. So again, it's making sure that all of your stuff is getting the right people, so that way you don't feel bad, because you're like, well, of course, if I'm attracting people that want to know about lead magnets, they're going to want to learn how to sell an email, because what are they going to do with these people? So like, this makes a lot of sense. So you want to make sure that ecosystem we're talking about, right? If I randomly decided, like with my current audience, to start selling like fitness and powerlifting coaching, because that's my hobby, that would make no sense. Would some people buy it? Sure, because they love me, but like, no, there's going to be that disconnect, because that's not in their brain what I do.
So you said a word that I want you to elaborate on a little bit, spammer face. And you talked about this, a spammer face free sales techniques. So what is that, and why is that important?
It is not repeating yourself constantly in the same exact way. We'll talk about it in a second. And it's not relying on those pressure tactics. Again, they can, the things like the timers, right? The things like the extra incentives, like the bonuses or the discounts, you can definitely toss those in there. But again, you always want to think about the benefits, the long-term, the short-term, again, they're technically the tangibles, the deliverables, to be able to like discuss it. And you get this, right? It's that extra that's really important. The spammer face is somebody that is literally, usually this is a countdown timer, guys, or it is, in my opinion, using like really manipulative techniques, like make people feel bad. I never want you to feel bad when you read my stuff. I'm going to tell you a situation. Like, we have a course called Trello Magic, and like, literally, it's not to make you feel bad. It's like, look, if you got 16 tabs open right now and your socks don't match, you're in the right spot. Right. So like, I'm calling out a whole bunch of people that are definitely not type A, who definitely don't like to color code things, but they need to wrangle their brain. But I'm not like, listen, you loser face who can't get it together, who, no, you're just calling out where people are. So for me, a spammer face is someone's just like, there's 10 minutes left. There's 15 minutes left. Why haven't you bought yet? This is going there. No, I'm never here to make you feel bad. I'm here to prove to you I know what your situation looks like. And that's where that really great messaging comes from. And I think that it's important, right? We talked a little bit about the sales journey. I know that Nancy, you talk about this as well, and Anita as well. It makes a lot of sense, right? In a sales journey, the first sort of thing is like, well, like, why should I care about this thing, right? And then it's like, okay, like, why can I trust you? And then the last part is, how can I trust myself? Because that's, if somebody, this is particularly for like the people that buy like the last couple of days of launch. Don't get me wrong. Some people love the adrenaline of the dopamine hit of just waiting till last minute. But it's a lot of time, it's people second guessing themselves. Like, I bought a book on plants before, but like, they're still dead. So it's like, you've got to prove to them that they can do it. And like, what makes your thing different? And like, that's all that we're kind of selling. And that's why it's like, you have so many things to talk about that you don't have to just rely on like those hard messages or like, oh, well, you know, you wouldn't have joined this email list if you didn't want to make money. So I don't know why you're not joining the course and wants to make money. Like, I don't need your condescending attitude. Like, I need none of that, right? Or again, you get this with a lot of like bro people, like, I will not call this particular guy out, but it was a male, shocker. And it was like, you know, fans would meet him on the street, and he was literally talking about how he would pitch his book to people. Like they'd be like, oh, you know, I'm such a big fan of it. Oh, did you buy a copy of the book? Oh, not yet. Why don't you, pull up Amazon and you can buy it now? That is gross, because someone was just coming up to you to say that you admire them, and your first thing is get out your phone and buy my book on Amazon. Like, really? Like,
So because it's all about them, right?
Right.
You said something that was
so thanks. Like, what do you like? Right? Like, again, have a conversation with somebody.
You said something that is so important. It is, people also have to be very creative and not be like their competition that's sitting in their backyard, right? They have to get out of the, I don't know, people always say, get out of your box. Well, like, take the box completely out. There is no box. You got the whole, where are you at? Be creative, be different, right? And that's going to, and it's not about you, like the book story. It's about the person you are going to be helping, supporting. There's always money that's going to work out well and come in if you do it, if you sell the right way, right? How do you balance or explain the balance between the persuasive and the authenticity in your sales strategies?
I just think that it's both. I think that people think they have to be mutually exclusive. But again, I think that it's almost like selling responsibly when you're only allowing people in your stratosphere that you can help the problem with, that make the most sense, when you're calling out the things that wouldn't necessarily work, then for them or all that sort of situation, then it just works, right? It's like, and if you want to know this, right? Like, you can just have that sort of authentic message. I think that you have to truly believe in the thing that you are selling, or in your ability to, like I said, get people results, to solve those problems like you're talking about. So it's like, how can I not inauthentically? It's like, yes, I do have a sea of testimonials. So like, we do have social proof. Yes, I did have somebody that went from a stone cold email list to landing a $3,000 client from a $36 ebook that I sell. Like, yes, I got all of that stuff. Like, it's there. But like, I know it's just my job to get you to use this stuff. That's the only convincing I need to do, is to get you to take action truly afterwards. I know that sounds so odd. Like, we're supposed to work for the sale. I'm like, I just want you to do stuff. And so I think that comes across as being there, because again, for persuasion, truly, it's being able to just communicate to people in a way that sounds normal. It's to be able to prove to them that you get them and you understand their current lived experience. Again, right? If you're selling like a cute calculator, like, you don't have to be like all about this, but like, if you're selling any type of coaching, if you're selling a program, right? And you talked about like being different, right? If people are like, well, like, but like, my process is the same as everyone else's, but like, chances are the way you explain it is going to be different, right? Even if you just give something like a simple anagram, right? That everyone have, or it's like the BBB method, right? So that way it sticks into people's brains better. That's what makes it unique, right? Because again, how do you succeed in business? I don't say it's not that hard, but like, it's hard to do consistently. You find people that need the stuff, you sell them the stuff. Yes. You repeat, right? And you make sure the people that you sell the stuff to, you treat them well. So like, I would like to have that other one, because most people are just like, you find people that need stuff and you sell them. I think you need to take care of those people after the sale. I think that's very important.
Retaining.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they're going to be your biggest advocate, and they're going to stick by you. And, if you offer affiliate programs, then usually they'll get you some more sales. And then again, it can still just work. So I think that, like, we talk about in a workshop that I have, like, casually selling. I think people just make it out like it needs to be this really big, grandiose thing. No, it can literally be at the end of the email, like, hey, if we're struggling with this, I got that. You can just be super simple. The other day I was on a coaching call and then again, it's like the name of your group coaching. You just hyperlink it out to the sales page. You answer the question that you answered the people. Call to action at the end. Hey, and if you're also struggling with this and you don't know blank or blank, come on in. We'd love to have you. So it's like, I authentically answered that question. I can really help you if you're having this problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there used to be I would say a misconception, or I would say a misconception in the business world in the past that, the nice people finish last in business. And I do feel that that's changing, especially with the huge rise of like solopreneurs, and how I feel like how we all work together in like today's world. What do you see in what you do, Kate? Like, do you see that happening as well?
I do. I think that especially like, in the US where I'm located, like there was a recession, there was not a recession. I think now people are actually feeling the effects of the recession we were supposed to have in 2022, but like never quite caught up to people until inflation hit like last year. So I think that people are being more mindful of their dollars, but that's where that authenticity and that connection sort of comes from, right? That's where like being their favorite comes from. I work with a lot of B2C people, and I'm like, don't hide the fact that you have stuff for sale, because that's where that disingenuous comes from. If you're just like free. No, like literally in your first email, right? Tell them like, I've got a shop. It's going to help you with this, this, and this. You're going to hear about it, right? The people that want to leave. But when you set those expectations at the beginning, then everything is going to be fine. And then some people are like, well, how do I go from free to be able to selling more? Just sort of slowly start integrating stuff, right? Like you don't need to do a 10-part sales, pitch out of nowhere. You can if you want to, but like get them used to the fact that you have stuff for sale, that you are an actual business, and no one's going to be mad when it comes time to tell you. And if they are, then they can leave.
You're not doing them any favors by hiding the things you have in place that could help them, right?
No,
not at all. Yeah. And also, I'm going to come back to that first point I brought in. Selling is what builds the economy. So if we sell the right way and find the people that have the problem that we're solving, then we don't go through that problem of recession. And inflation wouldn't be a problem because we're all making more. I mean, again, I look at it as a circle. It's an exciting call.
How can you make impact, right? Like, we can lie and be like, oh, well, no, like money is going to make the difference for me and for my people. Again, especially because I'm in like the make money niche, right? It's choice. It is one of those things like my ultimate dream for my people is that a price tag does not need to be the main dictating factor. Are they still going to be responsible with finances? Yes. But like, I don't want them going to a trip to say like the Poconos instead of going to Aruba because they're like, oh, Aruba's just so much more money. I want them to like genuinely want to go to the Poconos instead. That's like my ultimate goal for people, right? To be able to, like you talk about, supporting your community, right? It can be really hard to find hours to volunteer, which is technically free, not money, if you're hustling to be able to pay your bills, or you don't have the brain space because you're worrying about things, right? Having that money gives you that opportunity to support with your dollars or to support with your hours, whichever feels best to you. And for a lot of us, it's both, right? And it's like, I know it sounds gross, but like money does talk, right? And so I think that everyone needs to be able to have that opportunity and to make it. And sometimes a lot of my friends are still very in the 9 to 5, and I would never convert anybody that doesn't want to. We all need great workers. That's real. We need those great VAs who will just work for us and be our employees. But like, sometimes I forget that not everyone, when they just need to make more money, can just make more money. But I'm like, they could in their own situation too, if they wanted. And
I like the word that you used, convert. Oh, what an amazing word. 'Cause it is. But you're right. It's all about, is it that you really want to do it? Can you handle it? Are you ready to do all the work? Because it's definitely not easy, right? We all know as business owners, right? So that's really important. Listen, I heard through Anita that you guys are doing a back to business bundle. Can you tell me more a little bit about it? Let our guests and listeners know. Tell us a little bit about it. What are the benefits for small business owners that are listening out there? And I know Anita knows a lot more than me, but go for it.
Sure. So I love bundles. So if you guys are not familiar with the concept, it's where you get together with other contributors, creators, people that serve your audience, but in ideally different ways than you do. Everyone pulls together their products, and for a limited time, because again, people do need a reason to take action. We all procrastinate. Y'all know there's laundry that needs to be folded in your house. They're not going to but it's not a pressing issue. But everyone gets together, and for a limited time, people can get access to the whole group or the bundle of products, either for free or for a low price tag. And so we are running the Back to Business bundle. I've been running it since 2019. I don't even know what iteration this is, because at one point I ran it like 3 times a year. So at some point I'll figure out the Back to Business bundle. If Anita has a link right there, that will go to the wait list. And then when it actually officially opens up, guys, it will get you in there as well. So this one link is going to get everybody there. And so we have 2 tiers this particular year, because like I said, this is our biggest one ever. So we have a free tier that has over 120 items. All of them actually sell on people's websites for $49 or less. And then we have the premium tier that has just about 80 products. You also get the free ones too, that sell from anywhere from $50 to, we have somebody that put in one of their signature products that sells for about $1,000. You get the whole thing for a cool $97. We also, on that premium level, we have we have like power hours. So you actually implement the stuff that you get. Because one of the downfalls, again, be honest, of a bundle is you get all this stuff, you get the information overload, but then you have that like action constipation. You like don't actually take action. I need you to take action, right? So we make sure that we have action hours. We have a roadmap on that premium level, so that way you can keep track of the resources you have, the links that you've got going on. I mean, we've got everything from Instagram to Canva to podcasting. I have stuff about running bundles in there. I have my Black Friday SOS kit. So I know Black Friday's not for a while away, but technically people use it for flash sales all the time for developing great offers. We have done for you planners. We have somebody that's actually, and I really love this one. This one's in the premium level. We have somebody that is teaching you how to get paid to travel, but not be a travel writer. Like you actually like, it's the coolest thing ever. So I really, really love that one a lot. We have ones about running summits. Basically, if you sort of break down your business into those main areas of like attract, convert, create / deliver, as I like to call it, and then your energetics, we've got something to take care of pretty much every pitfall that you can have in your business. And what I love bundles, again, coming back from that background of like only having so much money that I could like rightfully invest, like where else are you going to get 77 things for $97? Like you're not. And it's real stuff. Like that's what's really important for the Back to Business bundle. And like I said, we've got a free Facebook group that's going along with it. We have bundle bingo that's going along with it. So if you do certain actions, because again, I need people to take action. You can free upgrades because we have something called the bundle booster. So maybe you're like, I don't want to go like the full way, but I would like a little bit more time to claim stuff. I would like a couple of the bells and whistles. We've got that. And we've got raffle items, giving away prizes. I love the Back to Business bundle. The premium tier, it's $10,000 worth of actual retail because we went on people's websites to stock them to make sure the stuff was real and they weren't just lying to us. And then in the free one, I think it totals about $4,000 between all of the different items. So
the key to any program, implementation. They got a whole bunch of information out there, even though they're not even sure what is right, wrong, or whatever on Google, right? That's why we put together programs like what you did. So that's awesome. So yeah, implementation is key, guys. Anita, do you have something to add?
I'm just very honored to be a part of the bundle. This is my first year participating, and I'm super excited because you have all the things you mentioned, and you have the co-working sessions, you have the panel discussions.
Anita's on one.
Are they? And I just because I don't remember because you have so many great things going on, but. Are the panel discussions and co-working sessions like part of the free or the premium bundle?
The premium bundle. The bundle booster that we have, which gives you the extra time for the free stuff, those do have 2 action workshops, as we're calling them, but the actual panel discussions, besides in general, Ask Me Anything, because I realized that people, while they would definitely see the value of like, I get 77 things for like less than $100, they might not see the value of like how a panel discussion can legitimately help them in their business. So we are doing our first one, which is on that Monday. So it's February 12th that it opens up, where we're doing an Ask Me Anything panel with all of our experts. So you can come and ask your business questions about any topic. And then the rest of our panels are for the premium people. We're talking about pricing. We're talking about launching. We're talking about bots. And we're talking about delegation. Because I figure if somebody is willing to lay down the money, that they are probably looking to, while they're a solo entrepreneur, looking to get a little extra help. So I wanted to make sure we had delegation because kind of like sales, people get really intimidated with giving feedback. What if this is bad? How do I find people? Why can't I just hire someone to hire someone? But then I've got to hire someone to do that. So we're going to try to take care of those things in our panels. And again, we have a lot of resources in the bundles to take care of your issues because it can be a bit overwhelming. Everything is completely searchable. So you can type in like you want Instagram and it's going to show you all of our Instagram resources. You can click a toggle and it'll just show you courses or just show you templates. You can technically sort by price point. We really wanted to make it the best possible experience for our contributors as well as the registrants. Those are who we're really looking to help.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited. So I'm participating in the free and the premium bundle with my resources. And I'm going to be in the panel discussions about using AI and ChatGPT to propel your business on February 16th at 11 a.m. So everybody will hear more of this as we get closer. But like Kate said, it starts on February 12th. And I put the link in here. I put a bit.ly link, and it's bit.ly BBB Anita, quick and easy. And that will let you join the wait list. So when it kicks off, you'll already be in there and just ready to take full advantage of it.
Yep. You get early access. You get to get in. The public gets in on the 12th. If you're on the wait list, you can get on the 8th. You also get a complimentary ebook that's going to be coming out, depending on when you guys are listening to this. It's going to be coming out the last week of January, called Productivity Powerhouse, where I got 69 of the contributors to tell me their most used productivity tip. Again, I want people to take action. I was like, I can be like, have a morning routine, write out your goals every day. I'm like, no, what do you like actually do? Like mine is like, I have a notebook, right? Or I set a timer for 10 minutes. So I have people actually share what they do in their business to get stuff done. And I love that ebook. Like I said, it's called Productivity Powerhouse. There's also extra freebies in there as well. So everyone's going to be getting that starting January 29th if they sign up for the waitlist.
Kate, thank you so much. This has been amazing. And I want to make sure also people are able to get in touch with you. And I know you have a great giveaway as well. I'm putting your link in here, katedoster.com/2 years. And Nancy and I both downloaded it, and it's an amazing download, and I will definitely be using it. You want to tell people what they can get if they go there?
Sure. So you're going to get 2 years worth of strategically planned email ideas. So technically, although I do have to update the landing page, guys, because we just turned over the years, you guys know. So you technically won't have to worry about what to send your email list until 2026 at this point. So I'm not just going to like plop you down with like 104 ideas because that's really overwhelming and brains like can't comprehend this. So like I literally break it down like month by month. Like here's week 1's prompt, here's week 2's prompt, here's week 3's prompt. I make sure one of the prompts per month is directly related to something for selling, whether it's an affiliate thing, whether it is getting somebody on a wait list. We do that. If you're like, January, the 3rd week of January's prompt stinks, Kate, then go ahead to February. It's fine. I'm not going to judge you. No one's going to know, right? If you're listening to this later on in the year and you're like, oh man, like I missed out on January through August. Turns out those months come again. So you don't have to worry about that. You just use it next year and you're good to go. And then that next year. So you don't have to worry about that at all. But I wanted to be able, again, to get people to take action when it comes to emailing their list. And really the reason why I love email so much is because it is so conversational based. And to me, it's a lot easier to like write a quick email to my friend because that's what I'm doing, right? Than to write like this whole like SEO-y style blog post or any of this. Like, no, I'm just popping in to talk about sales or popping in to talk about wrangling your brain. So you can head on over to katedoster.com/2 years to get your hands on that.
That is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Kate, yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure to hang out with another person who loves selling the right way. Absolutely adore it. Love your story. Thank you again for taking the time and coming here. It was such a pleasure. We're going to put you in the back room, backstage. Just give us a few minutes. We're just going to, talk about a few takeaways that we got from you today. And then we'll come back and see you.
Bye,
Thank you.
Whew,
what a great conversation. I love how we're all on the same page in terms of how we should be selling. One thing I wanted to mention is I do feel that it's certain niches of entrepreneur and small business owners, I think, have a harder time selling than others. And I see that, and I know because I have clients in those niches too, but I think I especially see that in for people that are helping other people. They sometimes feel bad about taking money for helping. You know what I mean? If they're in a place where that's their business, is really helping people, at an emotional level or transformational, whatever the case may be, they feel bad for charging for that service because they should just be helping people because that's the kind of people they are.
Yeah, they're worth.
I always tell them, you charging for those services and helping those people allows you to help more people. It's you spreading it and allowing you to expand your business, allowing more people to help in the space that you're helping. That's how the money portion comes in. It really helps amplify the good that you're bringing.
Absolutely. And a lot of people that I speak to, when it looks like when I look at their pricing and I look at what they're doing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, look, are you open if I would show you or if we would show you? Because I know you do the same thing. If you're open to increasing your prices, right? And if
Yeah.
clients love what they're doing, product, service, they're not going anywhere, right? They're not going to even look at other vendors,
Yeah.
right? But it's that concept, it's that also being creative, be creative, show more value, things like that. What differentiates you from your competition?
Yeah, and I think that's like a whole other topic that we need to bring up soon, Nancy, is the how to price what you're worth, how to
Yes,
price your services the right way.
yes.
Because I know that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs are struggling with as well. A couple of things that Kate said that I love in terms of how to kind of reframe your mindset and for selling
Mm-hmm.
is to think about the impact that you're making with what you're selling. And that
Yes,
goes to the same thing, you're helping, right? So if you go in with that mindset that I'm here to help this person and I'm going to make this impact and this is what it's going to do for them, and
yep,
you get excited about that, it's not going to feel like selling. And stop calling it selling if that helps you. You don't have to call it selling, you're
yep,
helping.
yep. And Kate said it really nicely. I love the word. I'm going to so use it. Sell responsibly.
Yeah, I like that.
Again, it comes back to that same point of it's not about you. It's about the person that you're selling it to. Like if you understand the concept, like that person that you're helping them solve that problem, trust me, they will probably know other people that have the same problem and pass that out. I mean, I do that all the time, right?
Mhm.
I buy all the time. Like she said, like Amazon, I'm on it every second, third day. If I need something, like I'm not going to run to the store, spend 20 minutes
Right.
to drive there and come back. If I could get it on Amazon, even if it's a little more expensive, save me time, right? But yes, sell responsibly.
And be honest. And
Yes,
that also goes to, the key here is you got to sell to the right people. Who's your customer? You have to know who your ideal customer is and be
yeah,
honest with that person. If that's your person,
yes,
that's what they should be getting from you. They should be
yeah,
getting your honesty, knowing exactly what they get from you. Don't hide anything. If they're your person, that's what they want.
yeah. And don't forget, Kate and us, we use that same thing. I loved when she heard it. I was like, oh, wow, ooh, I love this person already.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that people love to buy. We all do it. They just hate to be sold. So if
Yep.
you're going to try to sell it to them for your desire, I know I'm coming back to that same thing because it does come out to that at the end. It's just not going to work, and the other person is going to feel that. So
Yep.
find out how you can support them, what they're going through, and it comes back to that same point: sell responsibly, right?
So again, thank you to Kate, and go
Yes.
check out katedoster.com/2 years to get her great email calendar. Like I said, we both downloaded it. It's fantastic. We love it. And make sure you keep in touch with Nancy and myself to find out what else we have going on, what opportunities are coming out. I will definitely be sharing more information about the Back to Business bundle as we get closer. And don't miss out on future episodes. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you missed parts of this one, you can get the episode on YouTube immediately following this live.
Yep.
And quick reminder, we are still planning on starting our hot seat segment in the next couple of months. So if you have a problem in your business that you want to go live with us and get a solution to, get in touch with us, and we can talk about how we can set that up.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that to start. I think that's going to be something that people are just going to.
Yeah.
It's about being on a hot seat and feeling comfortable to become more comfortable later on and bettering your business no matter what stands in your way, because that's my quick so yeah, thanks, Anita. Look, next week, guys, we are back with another guest. Join us as we speak with Jay Delling about the importance of knowing yourself and the people around you. Now, look, anyone in a leadership role that's really hiring and managing teams is in need of all these essential skills. They're so important, and we sometimes forget the importance of it. like self-awareness and knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, that's what's going to really help you make your business a success, both again in your personal and professional life as well. So guys, see you next week. So until next week, go make an impact.
Thank you for listening to Impactful Business Voices. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode.